I feel like most of us at some point have taken a moment to remember the times when we were carefree kids and didn't have a worry in the world. And in doing this, we remember how great we really had it as kids and how we never even realized it. There's no doubt that all of us have had both good and bad childhood experiences that have stuck with us throughout our life. This assignment has given me a good opportunity to reflect on the old times and choose one of my experiences that I think would be interesting to share. So today I'm going to be talking to you all about my very first New York Yankees game that would end up turning into a nightmare. Ever since I was a little kid, I've always been a huge Yankees fan. I remember the nights when my dad would let me stay up way past when I was supposed to go to bed just so that we could finish watching the games together. I also had multiple different Yankees hats and even a Derek Jeter jersey, which unfortunately doesn't fit me anymore. But anyways, being the fan that I was, when my parents back in 2009 surprised me with tickets to go see them play, I was beyond excited. So a week later, we got on a tour bus and set off to New York City. However, once we got close to the stadium, it started to rain. I wasn't worried at first because the rain was very light, but once we actually got to the stadium, it started to downpour. We arrived at the stadium 2 hours before the game was supposed to start, so I figured that maybe it would have time to pass over or at least slow down so that they could play. But then the 2 hours passed, and just as I had feared, the game had been delayed because of the rain. Hearing this after waiting in the cold rain for 2 hours made me very upset, but I had no idea how much worse it would get after that. After multiple hours of waiting in the cold rain, I started to lose hope and thought that maybe they were going to have to call the game off. But we kept waiting in our freezing wet clothes, our only escape from the cold being the bathrooms, which were more overcrowded than usual because of other people that were also there for the heat. Anyways, after about 9 hours of waiting, the rain had finally stopped and the game had began at around, I think, like 10 at night. So the game went great. The Yankees won, and as a bonus, I got to see a nighttime game instead of a daytime game. I also feel like the extra 9 hours of waiting in the nonstop rain added to the excitement and anticipation that I had for the game. So the game ends, and we get back on the tour bus in our still wet clothes, and we headed back home. We got back at around 5 in the morning, meaning that we'd been gone for nearly 24 hours. But honestly, I can't say everything about the trip was really that bad. At the end of the day, I still got to see my favorite team play and made some unforgettable memories along the way. Also, as an apology for the delay, they gave us free tickets to see another game that was a few weeks from then. So the 10 hours definitely paid off in the end. And a couple of weeks later, we were on the bus again to go see another game, but this time in better weather. Alright, so this has been my story about one of my more memorable childhood moments. I don't think there's any way that I'll forget about it, and I'll definitely remember it my whole life. Thank you all for listening, and I look forward to hearing about all of your childhood memories.